Privacy, a basic human right, essential for our well-being. It protects our thoughts, our beliefs, our very selves. Without it, we are vulnerable, exposed. Our lives become an open book. The right to privacy is enshrined in many legal documents: the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the European Convention on Human Rights. These documents recognize the importance of privacy for a free and just society. They aim to protect individuals from unwarranted intrusions, but the right to privacy is under threat. New technologies emerge constantly. They challenge our traditional notions of privacy. Surveillance is becoming more pervasive, more intrusive. We leave digital footprints everywhere we go. Our movements are tracked, our conversations recorded. We must fight to protect our privacy. We must demand accountability from governments and corporations. We must be aware of the risks. We must educate ourselves. Our right to privacy is not negotiable. It is a cornerstone of a free society. Psychic surveillance, a chilling thought, the ability to penetrate someone's mind, to access their innermost thoughts and feelings without their consent, without their knowledge, a violation of the most intimate kind. The idea of psychic surveillance has been around for centuries. Myths and legends speak of mind readers and seers, individuals claiming to possess extraordinary abilities to see into the minds of others. In the 20th century, interest in psychic phenomena grew. Governments, including the United States, explored the potential of psychic espionage. Programs like Project Stargate investigated the existence of psychic powers. They sought to harness these powers for military and intelligence purposes. While the effectiveness of psychic espionage remains debated, one thing is clear. The very notion of psychic surveillance is deeply unsettling. It strikes at the core of our individuality, our sense of self. It raises profound ethical and philosophical questions. Technology, once a tool for progress, now threatens our privacy. It has become a double-edged sword, bringing convenience and connection, but also surveillance and intrusion. The digital age has created new avenues for privacy violations. Smartphones track our every move. Social media platforms collect vast amounts of personal data. Facial recognition software identifies us in crowds. Our online activity is monitored, analyzed, and sold to the highest bidder. The Internet of Things, or IoT, expands this web of surveillance. Smart homes, connected cars, wearable devices, all collecting data about our daily lives. This data can be used for targeted advertising, predictive policing, and even social manipulation. The erosion of privacy is gradual, insidious. We become accustomed to the constant monitoring. We trade our privacy for convenience, for entertainment, for a sense of connection. But the price we pay may be far greater than we realize. The law struggles to keep pace with technology. As new technologies emerge, they often outstrip existing legal frameworks. This creates a gap, a gray area where privacy violations can occur with impunity. The law must adapt to protect our fundamental rights in the digital age. Several laws address privacy concerns. The Privacy Act of 1974 in the United States, the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, in Europe. These laws aim to regulate the collection, storage, and use of personal data. They provide individuals with certain rights: the right to access their data, the right to correct inaccuracies, the right to be forgotten. However, these laws are often insufficient. They are complex, difficult to enforce, and full of loopholes. Corporations find ways to circumvent them. Governments exploit them for national security purposes. The battle for privacy is a constant tug of war. Section 5, Mind Games, the CIA and Psychic Espionage. The CIA, shrouded in secrecy, has a long history with psychic phenomena. During the Cold War, the agency explored the potential of psychic espionage. They feared the Soviet Union was ahead in this area. This fear fueled their interest in the paranormal. Project Stargate, one of the CIA's most well-known psychic research programs, ran for over 2 decades. It involved remote viewing, the alleged ability to perceive distant locations using psychic means. The CIA recruited individuals claiming to possess psychic abilities. They subjected them to rigorous testing. The results of Project Stargate remain inconclusive. Some argue that the program produced compelling evidence of psychic phenomena. Others dismiss it as pseudoscience. Regardless of the outcome, the CIA's involvement in psychic research raises ethical concerns. It highlights the potential for abuse, the manipulation of individuals with extraordinary abilities. Section 6. The psychological toll of privacy violations. Privacy violations can have devastating consequences. The feeling of being watched, of having your thoughts and actions scrutinized. It can lead to anxiety, paranoia, and even depression. The psychological toll can be profound. Victims of privacy violations often feel violated, exposed, as if their personal boundaries have been breached. This can lead to a loss of trust, in others, in institutions, even in themselves. The damage can be long-lasting. Constant surveillance can create a chilling effect on free speech and expression. When people fear that their every move is being watched, they are less likely to speak out, to dissent, to challenge authority. This erosion of freedom of expression can have a detrimental impact on society as a whole. Victims of privacy violations need support. Counseling, therapy, and legal assistance can help them cope with the trauma. They need to know they are not alone, that their experiences are valid. Section 7. The Future of Privacy, Navigating the Digital Age. The future of privacy hangs in the balance. As technology continues to advance at an unprecedented rate, the threats to our privacy will only grow more complex. We must act now to safeguard this fundamental right. Education is key. We must be aware of the ways in which our privacy is being eroded. We must understand the risks associated with new technologies. We must teach our children about digital citizenship and online safety. We need stronger legal protections, laws that keep pace with technological advancements, laws that provide individuals with meaningful control over their personal data, laws that hold corporations and governments accountable for privacy violations. We must demand transparency from the companies that collect our data, from the governments that surveil us. We have a right to know how our personal information is being used. We have a right to demand that it be used responsibly and ethically. Section 8. Seeking redress. Legal avenues for privacy violations. If your privacy has been violated, you may have legal recourse. Several laws and regulations provide individuals with the right to seek redress for privacy violations. However, navigating the legal system can be complex and challenging. The first step is to gather evidence. Document the privacy violation in detail. Keep records of any communication, screenshots, or other relevant information. This evidence will be crucial in supporting your case. Next, consider seeking legal counsel. An experienced privacy attorney can advise you on your rights and options. They can help you determine the best course of action for your specific situation. They can also represent you in court if necessary. Several organizations provide legal assistance and advocacy for privacy rights. The American Civil Liberties Union, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and the Center for Democracy and Technology are just a few examples. Section 9. Safeguarding our minds, a call for ethical action. Protecting our minds from intrusion is paramount. Psychic surveillance, whether real or imagined, represents a profound violation. It strikes at the core of our being, our thoughts, our memories, our very essence. We must resist any attempt to breach this inner sanctum. We must demand ethical conduct from those in positions of power. Governments, intelligence agencies, technology companies, all must be held accountable for their actions. We must reject the notion that the ends justify the means. We must cultivate a culture of respect for privacy, a society where individuals feel safe and secure in their own minds, where their thoughts and feelings are their own, where the right to privacy is not a privilege, but a fundamental human right. The battle for privacy is a battle for our minds. It is a battle we cannot afford to lose.